Okay, so would you like to understand why this just happened? I thought so. So take a walk with me. Let's get to the charts. Let's understand why this just happened. Why did we get rejected at a new all-time high whenever we just set a new all-time high? And why did we get this massive pullback? And where are we going from there? Now, first, before we get into those charts, I want to tell you there is a price target on this somewhere in about the $88,000 range. It could go all the way down to about 81,000. We'll show you here in just a second exactly why I think that. Okay, secondarily, this is not the end for crypto. This is not me saying all season isn't here. This is not me saying Bitcoin's going to crash and it's never going to come back or any of that stuff. Trust and believe. Literally, no one in the market wants Bitcoin and crypto to go up more than I do. Okay. And the reason for that is because I have a company that does master and validator noding for Ethereum, Avalanche, Phantom, Flux, and we will make a lot of money when those altcoins start pumping. So this is not me saying, hey, I don't want crypto to go up. I do. But what I'm saying is you can also make money whenever it's getting pullbacks, and you can also do the technical analysis and the charting to understand why something or how something is going to happen. So without further ado, I want to tell you that I have migrated all of my content over to a new channel, Drew_Wolfer. You will see it on the screen. I need you to go over there and subscribe to that channel because that's where I am migrating all of my content so that you can get all of the high level analysis, because I'm going to give you a really high level overview. But if you want the thorough in-depth analysis, that is where you're going to get it at. So we're going to go ahead and give you a high level overview right now. And let's just go ahead and get right into the chart. So let me put myself right down here. We'll get a little baby Drew on the screen and we will get into it. Okay, first and foremost, why did this happen? Okay, a lot of people aren't going to tell you why this happened. All right. Because I don't think a lot of people are going to understand why this happened. But what I'm going to tell you is there's a bearish divergence on the 1 hour chart. There's a bearish divergence on the 4 hour chart. There's a bearish divergence on the 1 day chart. There's a bearish divergence on the 1 week chart. And there is a bearish divergence on the 1 month chart. And if you want me to go even further in depth on what those bearish divergences mean and show you how those types of bearish divergences played out previous all-time highs in the past, go to my other channel and you will see that exact scenario where I lay all of that out thorough and in depth. Okay. But right now we're just taking a nice leisurely stroll down memory lane of Bitcoin actually setting new all-time highs. So I want to show you something that probably no one has showed you yet. But first, I want to show you the bearish divergence. Okay. This is what we would call a bearish divergence on the 1 hour chart. So you can see we're on the 1 hour chart. We came up, set a new all-time high just above $94,000. We came right back down. Bam. And now we're down here at $92,300 or whatever. We're trying to recover, okay? We've come down to this 9 moving average. We won't get too far into it, but you see what I'm talking about, okay? Now, this bearish divergence is something that you can also see down here on the RSI, okay? And that is right here. So this is where Bitcoin set its previous all-time high, I believe. And then this is where we are at now. You can see the bearish divergence, okay? This is massive bearish divergence territory too, okay? Because this is very serious. So let's pop it down so that you can see it all at the same time. But this is where it starts, okay? As you can see right here. And you've got a massive increase in price. If you just drag this up to that new all-time high, you've got a 5.6% increase in price, but your RSI is going down substantially. All right. This is not good. Okay. Secondarily, we did have pretty close to overbought RSI on the way up whenever we hit this. But this isn't the reason why this is happening. This is one of the reasons, but there's a lot of different reasons. Okay. Secondarily, right? If we go to the daily chart, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about on the daily to just prove to you that we still have a bearish divergence on the daily chart as well. Okay. So let's zoom in on the daily. Let's zoom out a little bit actually, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the daily bearish divergence. And if you blow this up, you'll see, okay, it started on Monday, November 11th. All right. And this is where we are right now. Let's go and see how that played out on the chart. So Monday, the 11th, right here, bam, right? This goes to the weekly. This goes to the monthly as well. I'm not going to sit here and beat a dead horse because it's probably going to make you mad. And I really didn't want to post this video anyways because I knew everybody's going to get mad at me for saying Bitcoin's going down. But that's why I gave you my disclaimer at the very beginning saying no one wants Bitcoin to go up more than I do. Okay. You can also see the accumulation distribution line is like at, levels we've like literally never seen before. Look at this thing. Like we're all the way up here. We've never even been up here. Like it's nuts. And if you know what an accumulation distribution line is, it basically tells you when something is being accumulated and when things are, being sold or about to be sold, right? And you can literally sit here and watch this stuff happen, play out in real time, okay? I'm actually in a short right now. I'm just going to give everybody my disclaimer on that right now. I am in a short on Bitcoin. My last short order was at like 93.7, something like that. I tried to get 93.989, but for some reason my exchange didn't give me the fill, which is not awesome, but whatever. So, what else do we have? All right, this is the thing that I don't think anyone is talking about. And we're going to take everything else off of the screen so that you can see this very friggin' clearly, okay? What's that? That is a trend line that if you zoom out, goes all the way back. You guessed it, to 2021 and before, okay? This is a massive, massive trend line. You don't break these upward channels. Majority of the time, you don't break them to the upside. You always break them to the downside, as evidenced here, as evidenced here. And then you use them as resistances, as evidenced here, right? So this literally was used as resistance and support all the way back. Look at this thing, man. All the way back to friggin' 2017. You cannot make this stuff up. You cannot write it in books. We literally topped out at the midpoint of this channel. Then guess what? We lost the channel, retested it, came back down, came back up through it, touched the top, okay? Got rejected, came all the way back down to the bottom, went to the middle again, got rejected, went back up to the top. Guess what happened? We crashed out after we hit the top again, came back down, fell through it. Then we came all the way over here, retested it again, hit the middle, came back down to the bottom of it, and then went back up to the top. So where do you think is the most logical place that we're going after we do this all over again, right? Because we know what time it is right now, right? We just saw a massive drop. And I'm going to give you a level that we absolutely have to hold tonight. Otherwise, it's really not looking good for Bitcoin. But we're going to go ahead and show you where this could potentially go to still be in an uptrend, just so that you have good news, right? The good news is that you could literally go all the way down to $57,000 and still be in this upward trending channel. My guess is it's not going to go there. It's going to go somewhere in this $76,000 range, which is where we would have a pretty decent sized catch point. Okay. And I want to show you why I think there's going to be a decent sized catch point there. There's a little bit of confluence there. All right. Okay. So this is our supply zone that you can see there's massive support in from about here up to here. Okay. There's a massive level of support right here where the VRVP is going to tell you this is a supply zone from not only the 1 hour, but from the daily chart as well. Okay. Why? Because this is where we started kind of doing our bullish consolidation and then boom, another leg up. So this is a pretty likely target in the $77,000 to $76,000 range. But what do we have under that, right? We have a massive, massive supply zone under that, right in the 69 to $67,000 range. Okay, that's like previous all-time highs. Then obviously you have your support right here at about $72,000, $73,000. That's another supply zone. That's probably about as far down as it's probably going to get, in my opinion. I don't see it going down here to $50,000, but I could definitely see it coming down here to this supply zone, right to the middle of this channel potentially. Okay, so it's something you just absolutely have to be prepared for. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm saying that this is a likely scenario that could play out if we hit a big move to the downside, because there's not a lot of support here whenever you're falling down. This was a parabolic move. Remember that, right? There's like support maybe like right here in like the 89.6 range. There's support right here in probably the 88 or 87.5 to 88 range. And then it's a massive fall all the way down to about $76,000, right? So I'm actually in a short here, and you can see that these moving averages are very, very spaced out. Like the 9 is all the way up here at literally 90 some $1,000, 89.8. And you've got the 50 all the way down here at 71K. By the time we get to this supply zone, I bet you this 50's right here and it bounces off of it, right? Catches. So this is a likely scenario. Now, what has to happen in order for us to go up, right? Well, you have to bust out of this zone, right? And then you have to back test it as support and then rock it up to about $104,000. Why do I think that that's the target if we break through this zone on the daily chart? You have to close a candle above it. Then you have to close another candle above the close of the candle that breaks it. Okay. That's the rule. Okay. So just take that into account. Here's why I think that if we break above this, we could go to about 100 and some odd $1,000, right? Before we start getting rejected, because that's where people are like, you know how many people are like, oh, dude, I'm not selling until 100K. So, okay, cool. So there's a micro bull flag here that just played out, which is another reason why we got kind of like rejected here. But I also want to show you this bull pennant that's kind of happening, right? That if we were to break through this on the 1 hour chart, and we'll go to the 1 hour chart so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. If we were to break through this as a bull pennant, if you think that that's a bull pennant, I don't think it's the best bull pennant, and I'm going to give the opposite side of this as well, because I don't think that this is a bull pennant. I think this is a rising wedge pattern that no one sees. So it does kind of look like a bull pennant, but there's a massive consolidation area here up to a new like kind of high. And you could have argued that that in and of itself was its own bull flag, bull pennant, and then that moved up, and then that kind of nullifies that. But let's say that that's the case. You could be seeing a move up to $109,000. Now, I want to show you the other thing that's a little bit problematic. This is what's called a rising channel, right? This is a rising wedge pattern. If anybody knows what these patterns do, they break down to the downside. And that's why I think that that 77 to 78K area is like that area that we could really get to really quickly. There's a lot of confluence down here, right? Now, these moving averages are super tight right here, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. What that means is if we break them, dude, there's nothing to stop us from going down. So again, if you want the full analysis on this and you want me to break this down even further, go over to the Drew Wolfer YouTube channel. It's Drew_Wolfer, and you can actually see exactly what I'm talking about, because I promise you, you're going to want to know both ways that this could go. Okay. So with that being said, I hope to see you over there on that channel. Let me know if you're in a short trade. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Make sure you hit the like button if you like analysis and content like this. Make sure you hit subscribe. Boom! Bang on the notification bell on the new channel, Drew_Wolfer. I'll see you over there. Everybody have a good day. I appreciate you for showing up to this video. Peace.